today we are heading to Zion's National Park. We're on 215, getting ready to get on I-15 to head all the way south to St. George, where we are going to spend the night. St. George is going to be our base camp, basically where we're going to spend the night. And then in the morning, we'll commute into Zion's National Park. I think I went to Zion's National Park as a little kid, but I don't remember. I remember doing national parks as a little kid with my family, but I don't remember which one was which in my memory. So it's spring break. We thought we'd go down, take the kids, and here we go, getting onto I-15, heading south to Las Vegas. But again, we won't go all the way to Las Vegas. We will stop in St. George. So we'll connect. Maybe in Beaver, when we get some gas. We'll connect again in Beaver. Maybe get a Dairy Queen malt. There's a gas station there with a Dairy Queen. And I could use a peanut butter cup malt for sure. Here's the situation. We've officially arrived here in St. George, Utah. Now, this is going to be our residence over the next few days while we travel in and out of Zion's National Park. But before we do that, tomorrow morning, we're actually going to take off and go play a round of 18 holes, a round of golf. The next morning is when we're going to go into Zion's National Park. So stay tuned. I will keep you posted on how easy it is to commute in and out of Zion's National Park while residing in St. George, Utah. I believe, if I remember correctly, I think it's just over an hour drive. So we're going to have to get up super early, drive on into Zion's National Park, beat the traffic, and be able to come on back. We'll come back here to the residence and then probably relax at the pool the rest of the day. So I'll keep you posted on how that works out for us. So we played a round of golf at the Legends Golf Course in St. George. It was absolutely pretty, but this shot that my buddy takes right here is pretty interesting because what we didn't realize is there's a rock right in front of the tee box. And he hits the ball, it goes ricocheting off. We had no idea where the ball went until we watched the video in slow motion and realized it shot off to the right, but we thought it actually shot up and towards us, but thankfully it did not.
Wow, look at you. Yes.
Now, after 18 holes of golf, we went back to the Arcadia Resort where we stayed. The Arcadia Resort had a lazy river, hot tubs, water slide, swimming pool. It was a ton of fun for the kids and a great place to relax.
I'll see you on the other side.
See you, Daddy.
See you, buddy.
I wanted to take a minute to give you the details on the best way that we found to do Zion's National Park. So, if you're thinking about going to Zion's National Park and you're wondering what time should you get there, here is, in my opinion, the best time to get there. So I went with two other families. There were 12 of us in total. We had a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a couple 6-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And what we decided is we wanted to wake up our kids early to get to the park right when it opened. Now, we had to get up at 4:30 in the morning because we were staying in St. George, Utah, so we actually had about an hour drive to get to Zion's National Park. But we thought and found to be accurate that it was better to wake up our kids at 4:30 in the morning to make that commute than to get there later in the day and then have to stand in line for an hour waiting for the shuttle bus. So what do I mean by that? Okay, here's how it works. The Zion's National Park opens up at 7 in the morning. Now, at 7 in the morning, the very first shuttle bus leaves the visitor center at the bottom of the park and works its way up the mountain to 9 different stops, depending on what attraction that you want to go see, whether it's Angel's Landing or the Narrows or Emerald Pool, whatever it is that you want to go will determine what stop you get off. There's 9 stops. So you're going to want to get to the parking lot as early as possible at 7 a.m. because there will be a line that will form at the visitor center. Think of like an amusement park, Six Flags, where it just kind of zigzags, the line zigzags, and before you know it, you've been waiting in line for an hour to get on a shuttle bus to take you up to one of the stops that you want to go to. We found it was better to wake up our kids early to get on that first shuttle bus than to get there at 9 a.m. and stand in line for an hour. The day that we went, Zion's National Park had reached its capacity by 9:30 in the morning. So if we would have gotten there by 9, you're already going to be waiting in a massive line, probably 45 minutes to an hour. Now, the National Park allows you to drive your car through the National Park up until March 31st. So if you are watching this video and you are planning on going to Zion's National Park early in the year before April 1st, then you can actually drive your car through the park. However, on April 1st, they shut down the park as far as driving your car through the park because it gets too congested. The amount of people that get to the park, that go to the park, basically creates so much congestion in that canyon, in that mountain, that in the park, that they prohibit cars from driving through the park. You can get to the visitor center. Basically, you're going to enter the park, and right there, when you enter the park, is the visitor center, and there's a big parking lot. You can go there, but from there on, you have to take a shuttle bus. That's how they limit the traffic and congestion through the park, which is a good thing because there are so many people that are going. Now, if you don't get to the visitor center early enough for a parking spot, then what you have to do is you actually have to park back in town and then take public transit. You're going to wait for a bus that you'll get on that will take you to Zion's National Park, at which point you'll get off that bus, and then you've got to go wait in line for a shuttle bus. So you definitely want to get to the National Park early, 7 o'clock, right when it opens, so that you can park in the National Park. There were a lot of people when we were leaving, we saw waiting at bus stops in town to get into the National Park because the parking lot was already full in Zion's National Park, so they couldn't park there, they had to park back in town. So if you want to avoid taking two buses, one public transit to get into the park, and then of course the shuttle bus, definitely get to the park early. Get there when it opens, 7 o'clock, maybe 7:30, maybe even 8. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on it because we were long gone by 8 hiking already. But if the park had reached its capacity by 9:30, I'm pretty sure that by 8:39 it was probably pretty packed in the parking lot. It's not like a huge parking lot. It's good size, but it's not huge. Fills up quick. You definitely want to get there early so you can get a spot. We got there at about 6:55. We were able to park really easy. We had no traffic that we were fighting against, and there were a lot of spaces open in the parking lot. So we parked, then basically walked over to the visitor center and just got on the very first shuttle bus of the day. There was no line. It was beautiful. Went up to our very first stop to do some hikes. We did 2 different hikes. And so, again, my recommendation is get there early, wake up early, get there, find parking, get on the shuttle bus, and enjoy the national park. So, wanted to share those details with you, but check out, keep watching how the day played out. It is about 5:50 in the morning. We woke up at 4:30 to get ready. We researched and are told that the very first shuttle bus
in 1.5 miles, turn right onto Lava Flow Drive.
Visitor Center leaves at 7 a.m. And if you don't get there for that first bus, we're told it could be an hour wait for the following buses. Depending on how late you get, the line it becomes very, very long. So we want to be there at about 6:45, crossing our fingers that's early enough to get on that first shuttle bus. So, we've never done this before. I'll keep you posted how it goes. As of right now, we're in St. George, 5:51 in the morning, pitch black outside, woke up at 4:30, heading over to the visitor center to get on that first shuttle bus. Keep your fingers crossed.
Zion National Park. It'll be a warm day. Make sure you have plenty of water to drink at all times. Lack of water dehydration causes a lot of tragedy. There is good water to drink.
So this is what it used to look like, just overflowing. Now, it's just got a trickle. So we've got to go under this waterfall, but I'm gonna put my hood on. There we go. Let me back it up so you can get a better idea. It's falling down on us. So this is one of the hikes that we did. I believe it was only a mile, maybe a mile and a half to this waterfall. Got to the top, took some pictures, had a snack, turned around, went back down. At which point we got back on the shuttle bus and then went up to stop number 9. I believe this waterfall was stop number 5, and the reason we chose it is because it was a shorter hike that was going to be easier for the kids. Like I said, I believe it was only a mile to maybe a mile and a half. Absolutely spectacular views, super gorgeous. And then after this, like I mentioned, went up to stop number 9, which you can see right here. And now, pretty much, the day is done. We're on the bus, shuttle bus, heading back down to the visitor center. And this is what the visitor center looked like once we got back down. It was about 11 o'clock when we got to the bottom, and all of these people were waiting to go up on the shuttle bus. They were just starting the day, and we were just ending ours.